friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing really well. So if you watched my previous video diary, you know that I haven't been posting for a while, and but I'm back now. I feel so much better. I took some time for just some self-care, and really been concentrating on reconnecting, recentering, putting myself back together, and we're gonna jump right into a book haul. So I wasn't planning on hauling a whole lot more books, but Matthew and I have been on some adventures lately. He's taken some time off work and we've gone around to some thrift stores, which is the best way that I've found that you can find used books, and the cheapest way that you can find used books, and ones that I'm actually looking for. So I want to show you what I got. So I've got a lot here. I've got spooky books, I've got ghost story books, I've got some classics, I've got one that I couldn't believe that I actually found, and some vintage books outside of the horror genre. So I'm hoping you guys are planning on sticking around and watching with me. So go grab a drink, coffee, tea, water, whatever, and we're gonna go through this haul together. So this is going to be the last book haul, I think, for a while, because I've been saving my money for Halloween season. So but some of these were books that I couldn't turn down. So let's jump right into the haul. Okay, starting with the non-spooky books first. So I got two from Montgomery. You guys know that I've been stocking up on her books recently. I've actually never read any Montgomery, and you are aware of how much I love Anne of Green Gables, which is going to make another very unlikely appearance later on in this haul. Anne of Green Gables is, but this is another series by her, and it follows a young girl named Pat. And the first book that I got is Pat of Silver Bush, and it says the warm and wonderful story of a young girl and the home she will always love. So it sounds very much like an Anne story, but it revolves around somebody else. And then the second book I got is Mistress Pat. So this is Pat when she's a little bit older, and it says, would Pat have to choose between her love of Silver Bush and love itself? So two more books to put in the L. Anne Montgomery collection. Let me know if you guys have read any of these, because like I said, outside of Anne of Green Gables, I don't know of any of her other stories. This one I actually found yesterday. I couldn't believe I found it. I was so happy. Some of these are still sticky from the stickers, but I've got to take some stuff and just get that off. So this is A Royal Pain by Ellen Comfort. This is a point book from 1986, and this brings back so many memories. I can't remember anything from this book, but I remember that my elementary school library had this book. And when I was in elementary school, my mom was also a teacher there. So after all of the classes had let out, all of the other students had gone home, I had to wait around for my mom to finish work so my dad could pick us both up at the same time, or sometimes she had the car and we could go home at the same time. And I remember sitting on the floor in my elementary school library and reading this one. And this is basically like a Princess Diaries kind of story. So this young girl lives in the States. Where is she from? Kansas. And she was born in a European country where another baby got accidentally switched. Now she's found out that she's a princess, and you know, all of this stuff, and she's being told on her 17th birthday she has to be forced into this marriage to this prince, and all of this stuff. So it's very much like a Princess Diaries story. I'm wondering, did Disney get the idea from this? Because of course this came out before the Princess Diaries. But this was so nostalgic, and it was like face out, like not spine out, but face out on the shelf yesterday when I was at Value Village, and I was like, oh my god, I have to grab this. So really super excited that I found that one. Then we have a couple of Sweet Valley High. So we have, let's put these in order. We have number 27, Love Struck. And then we have 28, Alone in the Crowd. So my Sweet Valley collection is actually starting to get quite large at this point. And then we have number 39, Secret Admirer. I probably this fall I'm gonna start rereading some of these because they look like they're so much fun. And then a couple of others out of the Sweet Valley collection. So we have one of the Sweet Valley Twins. This is number 27, Teamwork. We have Sweet Valley Twins and Friends. So I didn't have any of these. This is the one of the super chillers. The Ghost in the Bell Tower. So I was excited for that. Another super chiller. So it was like, whether I see these in charity stores or I think these were in used bookstores, I always grab them. So this is a Sweet Valley Twins super chiller, The Ghost in the Graveyard. And then we have a Sweet Valley Twins and Friends, Sneaking Out. Sweet Valley Twins and Friends, Jessica the Nerd. This is number 61. Is Jessica turning her back on popularity? I doubt it. And then, okay, so that's all of the Sweet Valley ones, but I was super, super excited about those super chillers. We have one Goosebumps. I found this in one of the charity shops for $1.50. Goosebumps Most Wanted, Creature Teacher, The Final Exam. So I have very few of these Most Wanted ones, but when I can get them for fairly cheap, I will grab them. And then we have one of these Spooksville by Christopher Pike. This is The Cold People. And I actually had another copy of this one, but it was not in great condition. So because I got this one for so cheap, it was $3, I grabbed that and I can replace the other one in my collection. I've gotten a couple actually that I can do that with. So I was super excited for that. A couple of more middle grades. So we have A Dead Time Stories, The Beast of Baskerville. So this is one of the reprints. And I only have a couple out of the Dead Time Stories. I don't have very many, and they're all kind of the reprints, not the originals. And then we have one out of Graveyard School. There's a ghost in the boys' bathroom. Is your school haunted? Find out inside. So I think this is my first out of the Graveyard School collection. I did have a quick peek and I didn't see any other ones. I think this is the first one that I've gotten out of there, and this one was $3 as well, so I went ahead and grabbed it. And then we have a couple of ones that I haven't seen before, and I don't have any in my collection. So this is Mystic Lighthouse Mysteries, You Solve It, The Mystery of the Bad Luck Curse by Laura E. Williams. This is a Scholastic book, and it's one of those choose your own adventure kind of things. And like I said, first out of the collection out of these ones. So let me know if you've heard of these before. Mystic Lighthouse Mysteries. So I've actually got a whole bunch of mystery books. So outside of, you know, spooky, well, I mean, it could still be considered a spooky book because it's about a curse. But I've got a bunch of mysteries in this, and there were books at the charity shop that I couldn't believe there were so many there. I was so excited. So I've gotten two of these ones. So these are Victorian ghost story books. So we've got the Usborne Classics Retold Victorian Horror Stories, selected and retold by Mike Stocks. And on the back here, I just love the little synopsis on the back. It says, the last thing I remember is the sight of the severed hand dragging itself across the floor to within inches of my neck. Its middle finger slowly extended, and a yellow claw-like nail touched my skin. I sank into unconsciousness in the expectation of death. And then another one that's also Victorian ghost stories that's very, very similar. It's out of the Usborne Classics. And it says this one is also by Mike Stocks. So I'm not sure if they have some repeats in here or not, but the good thing is I got these from the used bookstore, and if I bring back their books that I bought from them, they'll give me store credit. So if these are duplicates, then I can bring one back and get credit for it. We got another one out of the Screech Owl series. So I spoke about this I think in my last haul, or maybe the one before. So this is a really cheesy sort of Canadian mystery series about this hockey team. So this is The Night They Stole the Stanley Cup. It's a series by Roy McGregor, and I got this one for super, super cheap. So it says, The Screech Owls are great reading for the hockey players in your family by Wayne Gretzky. So this is awesome if you have little hockey players that really, really enjoy the game, but you want them to be reading. So these are like mystery series, or is a mystery series that revolves around a hockey team. So lots and lots of fun. I've never actually read one, but they sound super, super cute. a couple of non-spooky books that I went ahead and got. So I've been talking about getting these books, the private novels by Kate Bryan. I read these when they very first came out and I had a lot of fun with them, so I wanted to reread them but didn't want to pay like full price to get the books again. So I went ahead and got them at the charity shop, and I want to see if they're just as cheesy and if I enjoy them just as much as the first time reading them. So this is the original series, private. So this is Vanished. I won't read any of the synopses because there's spoilers on the back. Then we've got Untouchable. And then we've got Suspicion. So like I said in my last book haul, these revolve around a girls' boarding school, but there's like murder mysteries and people going missing and all of this kind of stuff. So it's they're really suspenseful and they're real page turners. So I really enjoyed these when they first came out. I believe I was still in university. Suspicion. And then Privilege is a spin-off of the private series. I can't remember. I remember I had these. I'm not sure if I read them or maybe only read one or two. So this is the first in the Privilege series. And then we have Beautiful Disaster, Pure Sin, and Sweet Deceit. And it says this is a Privilege novel, so this is from the spin-off. So we'll see how those go. You know, if they don't work out. I only paid a couple of bucks for them at the charity shop. So I went ahead and grabbed them. Wasn't within my rules of only buying vintage collections, but we won't talk about that. So a couple of other books that I found at the charity shops that number one, I was super surprised, and number two, I was so happy. So we did get a Buffy. So we've got No Future for You out of the comic series. These are from the Dark Horse comic series. So found this one for next to nothing at the charity store. And then this one, actually, yeah, I'll show you this one next. My throat's really dry today. I'm hoping that I'm not getting sick. That would have really sucked. But I found this one. So this is a hardcover copy of It, and it's missing its dust jacket. I got it only for a couple of dollars at Valley Village. But what I love about this book, it is not in great condition. It's not. It's, you know, like it's the pages are all dirty. It's got coffee stains on it. It's old. Like I said, it's missing its dust jacket. The spine is sunken in. But this book has the most amazing energy. Whoever owned this book, which does have the name Kathy Wager on the inside, whoever owned this book really loved it. They read it over and over again. They've spilled coffee on it, but what I love is that it's super floppy and the spine is really, it's worked in. So like when I'm going to go read this, it's going to stay open for me. And like I said, it was just, I saw it on the shelf and it was all beat up, but it was very well loved. Whoever owned this book really loved it, and I'm so happy to have this one for the Stephen King collection. I've never read it. Of course, I know the story. I've seen the miniseries. I've seen the movie. But I've never owned the book. I've never read the book. So super happy to put this one on the shelf, especially because it has such amazing energy attached to it and so much love. And then this one. So, story behind this book. I was at Value Village with Matthew, and I don't usually look at the nonfiction section because it's typically like history books and atlases and encyclopedias and stuff like that there. I usually don't even walk around that side of the shelf. And I went around the corner. I saw this book out of the corner of my eye and I got so excited. I almost climbed over the lady that was standing in front of me because I was afraid that she would grab it off the shelf. I think I scared the crap out of her. This one, finally. So this is Ghosts by Hans Holzer. This is like a holy grail for me. I am still going to look for the hardcover, but this I'm so happy to find. I'm always on the lookout for Hans Holzer, and he's so hard to find here. So this is True Encounters with the World Beyond, Haunted Places, Haunted Houses, and Haunted People. and I am so excited to have this. Like I said, it was a holy grail find, and I got it for like, what was it, $5 at the charity store. I couldn't believe it. I'm so happy to have this book. So I went around the corner and I held it up to Matthew, and he was like, oh my god. He gets really excited with me when I go and I find books at the charity stores. So that's super cute. So these ones I actually just picked up this morning. These are ghosty books, and a local lady was selling them here in my community, and I'm so happy to find these as well. So this one is True Ghosts, Haunting Tales from the Vaults of Fate magazine. So this one's in great condition. I've never heard of this one before, so I'm excited to flip through here and see what it's got going on. And then I found a whole bunch in the what's it called, the Ghost House series. So these ones with the Canadian ghost stories and all the different provinces and everything, you guys know that I'm collecting these, and they're out of print. Some of them are super expensive when you're trying to buy them online. So I was so happy she had all of these for $10, so I grabbed them. So this one is one that I don't have at all. So this is Canadian Ghost Stories Volume 2, Smitten, Faye, Jarvis, and Oikel. So this one's in fantastic condition. So this is number 33 in the series, one that I don't have. So excited. Another one that I didn't have and I didn't even know about, this is Fireside Ghost Stories by A.S. Mott. And so this is by someone, this is one of the specialty ones that aren't by some of the original authors that are always writing for them. And what I liked about this cover, so you have this skeleton sitting at the fireplace, but there's also like some evergreen and some red ribbons and lights and stuff there. So it looks like it's kind of like a Christmas themed one. So this one I didn't have at all. It's in fantastic condition. So excited to have that. And then she had another two that were duplicates for me, but both of these books, my copies are in very poor condition. This particular one, there's actually water damage on the one that I have. So this one is great. It doesn't have any water damage, doesn't have any folded pages. Very few blemishes on the front. So this is Canadian Ghost Stories. So this is the original volume 1. So this is book number 10 in the series. The Fireside Ghost is number 37 in the series. So I have a lot of books to collect out of these series, out of this series. And this one, Haunted Theaters by Barbara Smith. This is one that I already have in the collection as well. But my copy is not in great condition. This one does have a crease along the back, but it's not really bad. And this one is number 13 in the Ghost House series. So super excited to have all of these. Just have to make some room. So I was super excited to find those, especially the ghosty books. So I'm always keeping an eye for people that have those that are getting rid of them. Some people ask like astronomical prices, but when I can get them for fairly cheap, like I got those for $2 each, it was definitely worth it. So this last stack of books are some more of the Eric Wilson books. So last year I read Vampires in Ottawa. It was the first book that I had gotten by him. It was a Liz Austen mystery. So these are Canadian mystery stories. There's Liz Austen and her brother Tom. And so she has her adventures, he has his adventures, and then sometimes they have the crossover like the Liz and Tom Austen mysteries. And this is basically like a Canadian version of Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. But they all take place, all of the stories take place in different historical parts of Canada. And there's a lot of history and a lot of geography and everything that's wrapped in to the stories. They came out in the 80s and 90s. I never read them when they first came out, which is really funny. I never even heard of Eric Wilson before I bought Vampires in Ottawa last year. And it's so funny because, like, you know, as such a voracious reader during that period of time and growing up in the 80s and 90s, it's just really strange that I had never heard of these books before. So we went to Value Village one day. I was not planning on buying any books. I didn't even have any money with me to buy anything. But this whole stack, like, all of these were sitting on the shelf, and I was like, oh my god. And Matt was like, you better grab them now because they're gonna be gone. So I got the whole stack. There were a couple of duplicates, so I managed to avoid those, but I was so happy because they were $1.50 each. And they're super cheesy, and I'm gonna zoom in so I can show you all of these ones and tell you where they're from. But I was so super happy to get them, so I'm gonna zoom you guys in now and we'll go through where each one of these stories takes place. So here we go with some cheesy Canadian nostalgia with these Eric Wilson books. So starting off with the Liz Austen mysteries. So this is the St. Andrew's Werewolf. So this one in particular takes place in New Brunswick. And these are a little bit sticky, sorry guys. So here you go. So we have a Green Gables mystery. So this is another Liz Austen one. So the Green Gables Detectives. We have Escape from Big Muddy. And I can't remember where this one takes place. I believe it's Saskatchewan. Yeah, so this one takes place in Saskatchewan. And this one, oh, I do have a duplicate. So this one has a different cover. This is the St. Andrew's Werewolf again. So that's okay. These were only $1.50, and I will definitely be putting this one in some sort of a giveaway or a trade or something like that. And then next up we have the Disneyland Hostage. So this one obviously doesn't take place in Canada, so Liz maybe is on vacation and ends up getting abducted down in Disneyland down in California. So that's all of the Liz Austen mysteries. And next up we have the Tom Austen mysteries. So this is Murder on the Canadian. So this takes place on one of the Via Rail trains. It looks like it goes right across Canada, but in the specific one, it looks like he's in the Rockies. So it doesn't particularly say, but it does take place on what seems to be a cross-Canada trip. We have the Kootenay Kidnapper. So obviously this one takes place in the Kootenays, so in British Columbia. We have the Prairie Dog Conspiracy, and I can't remember where this one takes place. Let me just take a look. Winnipeg. So the Prairie Dog Conspiracy takes place in Winnipeg, Manitoba. The Case of the Golden Boy, and I don't think this one tells us where it takes place. No, it just says it's at a cafe. Somebody gets kidnapped in a cafe, and I love the cover on this one. The Vancouver Nightmare. So it looks like this one takes place on a train as well. So this is a Tom Austen mystery also. And then we have the Tom and Liz Austen mysteries. So the Ice Diamond Quest. So this one takes place in Newfoundland, which is my home province. We've got Spirit of the Rainforest. Takes place obviously out in BC. So BC has some of the most beautiful forests in the world. Code Red at the Super Mall, sorry. Code Red at the Super Mall, and this one takes place in Edmonton, where we have the West Edmonton Mall. It does have like an underwater experience with a pirate ship and all kinds of stuff out there. So that one takes place there. And this one isn't out of the Austen mysteries. This is a standalone, The Unmasking of Kassan. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is an indigenous story talking about a young girl and something that's really important to her tribe that gets stolen. So that one sounds pretty cool too. So these look super cute. I am so excited to read more of these. Like I said, I read Vampires in Ottawa last year, and I was super excited to find all of these wonderful books for just $1.50 at the charity shop. So there you guys go. That was everything for my book haul. So like I said, this is going to be the last one for a little while because I am trying to save my money for Halloween, because Halloween decor is coming out. Everyone has their clearance sales on. So Bath & Body Works has their clearance sale on. I was just in Michael's yesterday. They have all of their fall florals out and their clearance sale is happening. They're starting to clear off a lot of space on their shelves. And there looks like there's going to be quite a bit of fall and Halloween coming in. So super excited for that. I hope you guys are excited to see all of the hauls and decorating and all of that kind of thing. I need to pull out my bins from under the stairs so we can go through everything and see what I need. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the haul. Let me know if you've read or enjoyed any of these books when you were growing up. Leave me a question or a comment down below because you know I love chatting with you guys. But until next time, stay spooky everybody. Bye.